my esteemed viewers. You are welcome once again to today's episode of Reflections with Otunba Adeleye on Poverty Fighters TV. Interestingly, we always greet one another. There are people who are friends of Nigeria. There are people who love to see us grow. There are people who wish us so well that they want poverty to be removed from our country, Nigeria. I'm happy today to introduce to you one of such people in person of Mrs. Julia Gundetti, a Canadian by birth, a Nigerian by marriage. This lady is a social worker. She's married to my brother, Chris Arogudade. From all the discussions we have had since about 6 days ago that she landed in Nigeria, it has always been one welfare program, one social program, visiting the orphanages, going around to see how we can touch people's lives. And you know that at Ikeja Chamber of Commerce, alias Poverty Fighter Squad, that is our main goal. We use agriculture to fight poverty. We use entertainment and sports to fight poverty. And you know, all the programs we have been doing, unemployment bank, feed the poor, all these programs are towards just ensuring that we make our own contribution to the social development of our Nigerian friends and Nigerian people as well. So she is going to be on this program today. I'm sure you will love to hear her. Please listen. Happy viewing. Thank you.
I am Julian Gundetti, and I'm from Canada. My husband is Nigerian here. I am the youngest of 9 children. I have many late brothers and sisters, but our family is sister Sharon. She's late, but she had 5 children. My late brother Gary had 5 children. Wayne had 1 child. Uh, Colleen had 2 children.
How many nephews do you have now?
20 maybe. Yeah, nieces and nephews. Yeah. So yeah, and we're a tight family. Everybody's close. We get along really well. So my mom and dad were they were special people, very non-judgmental, very loving, and they we lived in poverty. We did. We weren't rich. We did not have money, and we had 9 kids back in 40s through 70s in Canada, and we didn't have a lot of money, so the struggle is real. I know the struggle. I know it. I grew up poor. We had an outhouse. We had no running water for part of my childhood growing up, so I understand poverty. I do understand poverty. So yeah, but that's me.
The nieces and the nephews, how are they doing now?
They're all good. They're doing well. They're doing well. And I mean that's to say that some of them have disabilities, some of them have issues, but most of them are working. They're doing well. And and again, if they have an issue, then we have disability or we have something to help support them. You know, exactly. Or like a disability. Like if you have a disability and you cannot work, the government will give you money to support yourself. It's not a lot. It's still probably below the poverty line. But if you get roommates and you know how to do it, you can manage. You can manage.
What system do they run in Canada? What system? Is it capitalism?
No, we're democracy there, but I mean, honestly, it's all we have welfare. We have free medical. We don't pay for medical. So if you go to the doctor and you got a medical, you just go. You go. You get your medicine. Where I work, I have benefits, so I get my prescriptions mostly paid for. Um, which that's not everywhere in Canada, but I'm fortunate to have that. But there's like employment insurance, and like when COVID hit, the government was just sending out money willy nilly to everybody, like whether they were on disability or whether they had. So if you were working, you would automatically qualify for $2,000 a month. They would just, but I was on employment insurance, so because I had been working and then I was laid off, I was able to get employment insurance, which was still about $2,000 a month. So I was able to support myself, right? Right? You survived. I mean, it wasn't fun. Don't get me wrong. I mean, mental health wise, it was very hard because you don't have contact. I'm not with Chris, right? You don't have contact with the people that you are allowed to see. You know, you've got this little tight group of people that you can hang out with for like a year. You know, it's yeah. I'm glad that's mostly behind us. I'm so glad. Very glad. Yeah.
The country, Nigeria,
Yeah.
as it is now, do you think we can have, well, maybe that's what we are doing now,
Yeah.
the private people
Yeah.
working together with other organizations?
Yeah.
But I just want you to go to the area of family reliance, how the people relate to one another. You are from a very large family,
Yeah.
considering you as a white woman,
Yeah.
and you are having such a family that are together. What makes it so?
I think my parents had a lot to do with it. We were just really bonded. Like
Yes.
we grew up tight. We grew up really tight, and you know, not to say that we didn't have our differences over the years, but you know what? It's not a thing. We all talk to each other. We don't. Somebody doesn't get mad and just say, "I'm not talking to you." You work it out. You talk. You figure it out. I mean, there's no option. Your family. That's what you got to do. I'm smelling something burning.
Like that.
I just suggestions that I can make of other places to get food donations for kids. Um, if there's a way that I can somehow send donations, I'm not sure exactly how to do that yet because I'm not on the coast. I'm sort of landlocked, so I'm far from the Atlantic. But if there's some way that we can figure something like that out, I know that there's no shortage of like microwaves, fridges, you know, that type of thing for us to be able to find there. I mean, Canada is a disposable society. We throw away everything, and everything's fixed here. So, yeah, I like to see if there's a way we can work with that. I mean, you know what else I can offer you? Would have, like I said, I'd be definitely willing to a donation to start out. I would definitely be willing to do that.
Okay.
And maybe I can find others too within Canada. I mean, there's so many. I was thinking this morning, like it's called the breakfast program that runs in our school for kids who go to school hungry every day. So you can reach out to different schools and see if you can create some way of feeding children that come to school hungry every day because they learn better when their tummy's full, right? So I mean, it can be anything. It can be fruit. It can be gari, whatever, right? So just different things like that we have in place in Canada that I'm willing to let you know what we have so that we can, you know, kind of collaborate and go back and forth and see if there's any other places that you can, sources that you can find support or, you know, information.
So we really appreciate Mrs. Otunba. You know, you mentioned food, that's feeding the children.
Yeah.
And that's very paramount to us
Yeah.
at the Poverty Fighters.
Giving them a belly full
So
of food.
we also have what we call the food bank.
Yeah.
What we do at the food bank is because we know that we might not have what it takes now. So we speak to restaurants, we speak to eateries, their remains for that day.
Yeah.
We have people, you know, we have vendors on ground that will just take them that very night when the food is still good and take it to some sections or to some subsections. We also go to supermarkets. You know, there are products that are about to expire.
Yes. Yeah.
They are not expired.
And it
But they
doesn't
can
matter
expire.
even if they
They can
are.
expire in a week or in
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
We work with these people, we
Yeah.
talk to them, so that they sell it for us for a cheaper price or they give it to us for free.
Yeah.
So we take it to
That's
people
awesome.
that have that basic, that immediate need.
Yeah.
Not those that will keep it
No.
till it expires. So we do that every day.
That's
We have
awesome.
vendors on ground now.
That's
Once it's
awesome.
7 o'clock in the evening, they start moving to these restaurants, to these eateries,
That's
to these
fantastic.
supermarkets to make sure they get this thing. So what we are doing is we can adopt any kind of system as long as it is
Yeah.
it is a voluntary
Exactly. It
you
has to
understand, as long as it is putting smile on people's face,
be. Yeah.
because that is what we stand for.
Mhm.
That's what we stand for, putting smile on people's
Exactly.
face. Like I said before, putting food on people's table,
Exactly.
putting roof
Necessities.
over their head, and that's the basic of life. So any system at all, donations.
Yeah.
You can check our YouTube page.
Yeah.
We have what we call the Poverty Fighters
Yeah.
TV. I was about to play a video for you, so I'm trying to connect to the internet. Like was it 3 weeks ago? We fed over 500 kids.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
It was a buffet.
Oh my
It
God.
was a
That's
buffet.
You will
beautiful.
still play it.
Yes, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to send all those to you.
Yeah, send them to me. Yeah.
Yes,
So
Yeah.
it's
to
not-
support
it's not-
your
You
campaign.
understand? It's not packaged that just take what you want.
No.
It's a buffet. They
Yeah.
come and tell us, give me this, give me so, and that
They
is
can
what
eat until they're satisfied.
that is
There's no
what
holding
we
them
do.
back. Yeah. Yeah.
You could
That's-
see the smile, you could see the
Yeah.
expressions, you could see the joy on
Yeah.
these kids' faces. So, whatever system is going to put food
Yeah.
on people's table, put smile on their faces,
Yeah.
put money in their pocket, we are always ready to
Yeah.
collaborate and work with you, whatever it is.
I know it's very different in Canada because you can write for grants in Canada, that's like to the government or different foundations, like the Dairy Foundation of Canada, for example.
Okay.
And so the Dairy Foundation of Canada will donate a fridge to a school
Mm.
and milk to the school, right? Based on the population of the school and so forth. So I mean, I don't know what's available here. I don't know what's available to you even outside of Nigeria for that, but it's something that we can look into, right? Grants, writing for grants,
Okay.
asking for donations for the project,
Okay.
right? There's so many different avenues. Like, yeah, at the grocery stores in Canada, they have a place where you can donate to the Breakfast Club. You'll do a drive. So
Oh.
say at like ShopRite or whatever, you'll say, "Can you donate? Would you like to donate $1 today to poverty fighters?"
Yes. Yeah.
And then they'll add it to their bill and they'll take that and they'll put it aside, and those donations go
Yeah,
to
you
you
see
guys.
that
Yeah.
on these
Yeah.
online stores.
Yeah.
When you
We
finish
do that.
shopping, you just include the
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, and there's some that just have boxes outside that are there for donations. If somebody's picked up an extra box of cereal or an extra bag of rice, and we can drop it in there. Things like that. So
More of it is for us to be able to get poverty fighters Canada,
yeah,
because I'm going to discuss that with the office generally
yeah,
to find out if it is going to be a registration there.
yeah. You have to find out all that. I'd be willing to sort of help as much as I can with that for sure. But yeah, it sounds like a plan.
Well, through Mr. Gundetti here, we will be able to liaise with him continually, even when we have left.
No problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have to do that. Thank you, sir.
For now.
Thank you. We want to let you know that we are very happy that you are here with us.
Thank you.
And
Me too.
we are more convinced that with people like you, they are very rare to get people there, to get somebody who is going to volunteer to do things with you.
Yeah.
It's not an easy thing, but we rely on the fact that we
Well,
have, yes, go on.
Yeah, no, and it just, I mean, I've been here 6 times and I've been all over Nigeria and I've seen poverty. I've seen, when my first trip, I was just shocked. There was a young mom who had a baby strapped to her back and she was pregnant and she threw herself in front of our car to get money for begging. Like, children that come and beg for food on the, it breaks your heart. Like, that nobody should have to live like that.
It's the system.
Yeah.
The system is very bad. The
Yeah.
system is bad.
So
Very
bad.
curious.
The system is not working with us
No.
at all. The system system
No.
is the system is not even giving you room to help people.
No. And
Even
there's
when you
no,
want to help, the system is
you know,
not
and
giving
like
you to help.
there's social services in Canada. I mean, if you don't work, you can't work. You injured yourself. Okay, that's different things. If you injured yourself at work, they'll give you workers' compensation. So they'll give you a check based on your income every month until you're better and well enough to go
Like
back
how much?
to work. Based on your income, it could be a couple $1,000s a month, depending on what you make, right? Like if you're working part time, it's not going to be as much because it's based on what you make every month, right? But if same with employment insurance, if you lose your job because the business closes or they're overstaffed, they'll give you a check every month. When I was on EI during COVID, it was $2,000 a month. If you suffer from mental illness or a physical disability that you can't provide for yourself, they'll
Why
put
you
you
said
on.
this? Why you were working?
Well, yeah, period. Even if you so you have a child that is born with Down syndrome, or you have a child that is born blind, right? Or something causes them to become blind. You apply for a disability pension, and that child will have that for the rest of its life. It's not necessarily that much there, but it's enough to feed them,
Yeah.
right? If you're down on your luck and your whole family has none of that, we have social services welfare that will give you a modest amount to feed yourself every month and your family.
It's so sad the side of the world I find ourselves. It's so sad. But we thank God. We thank God that we are not somewhere there. We're also thinking of how to make sure everybody's fine. Everybody's living a good life.
Yeah,
Everybody's enjoying life. Because life, we're supposed to enjoy life.
yeah,
We're not supposed to endure it. So most
Yeah,
people are
exactly.
enduring.
yeah,
We
Yeah.
should enjoy life.
exactly.
So, like I said before, with with you, with your with your knowledge of with a basket of wisdom, with
Yeah,
what you have and how much you can help us push,
yeah.
we are ready to work with you as long as it's fighting poverty.
Might we put me in touch with some of the local Nigerians there too. There's local Nigerians in Lloydminster, and I could also put it on the Edmonton. There's a Facebook group I'm on, the Nigerian Buy and Sell. So that group is strictly for Nigerians or people who are married to Nigerians, and it's in Edmonton. So that city's like got 1 million people in it. I don't know how many Nigerians there are, but yeah, I mean that could be advertised on there. Set a link to your page to there, right?
Okay, yes.
Because I mean, if they're not Canadians, it's likely they've never heard of this,
Mhm.
right? So I'm willing to do what I can to help.
We will appreciate that. We will appreciate that.
Based on that, I also now having mentioned Nigeria, what's the prospect of we having a restaurant there that will be sending Nigerian foods to
I
you?
would freaking love that. I mean, I have a long ways to go to get there, but that would be my dream.
Wow.
That would be my dream. You're talking about dreams. That would be
Yeah.
having my husband there and having a small Nigerian restaurant that we could cook together and have a business together. Then. So that's always been a dream of mine, and I love cooking. So yeah.
So we'll make one of these days to get to have a taste
Yeah.
of Canadian recipe.
Yeah, there you go. That's right.
Well
That's right.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having us.
I know you'll soon be going,
Yeah,
but I pray that before you go, you still pay another visit here.
I may be able to do that. I think so.
Because we are going to tidy this one up in form of written something.
Mhm.
You know, we go into. I keep mentioning Mr. Rugudari because I know I can always get him like this. But for you, after you have left, I mean that's why I want to maximize your being here for now, for me to be able to do everything that we need
Yeah.
to do. Um, the area of the donations.
Mhm.
We'll be giving you our links. We'll
Yes,
give you
pass-
our links
Yeah.
and maybe put her on our platform.
Definitely.
We
Yeah.
put you on our platform.
Okay.
You can always see what we are doing.
Okay. Perfect.
And then when you get back to Canada, you'll be able to rally around the Nigerian group.
Yeah, that would
You
be
know.
great. I think that would be the most beneficial because I mean, everybody, if they have family here, they can relate, right? They know.
Yeah,
So-
I think with that, we are good to go.
Yeah. And I know my brother, he's done a lot for people here in Nigeria, and he continues to do a lot for me to get my husband there. So I really appreciate him. But it's something that I think that I could see him being interested in learning more about for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Well, we want to thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you
we
for
are
having
looking
me.
forward to a good relationship
All right.
for the benefit of mankind.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank That's like to the government, for different foundations, like the Dairy Foundation of Canada, for example.
Okay.
And so the Dairy Foundation of Canada will donate a fridge to a school and milk to the school, right? Based on the population of the school and so forth. So I mean, I don't know what's available here. I don't know what's available to you even outside of Nigeria for that, but it's something that we can look into, right? Grants, waiting for grants, asking for donations for the project, right? There's so many different avenues. Like, at the grocery stores in Canada, they have a place where you can donate to the breakfast club. They do a drive. So say at like ShopRite or whatever, they'll say, "Can you donate? Would you like to donate $1 today to poverty fighters?"
Yes.
And then they'll add it to their bill, and they'll take that and they'll put it aside, and those donations go to
You
you
see
guys.
that on these online stores, when you shop, you just complete
Yeah. Yeah, and there's some that just have boxes outside that are there for donations. If somebody picked up an extra box of cereal or an extra bag of rice, that they can drop it in there. Things like that.
Well, more of it is for us to be able to get poverty fighters Canada.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm going to discuss that with the office generally
Yeah.
to find out if it is going to be a registration there.
Yeah, you have to find out all that. I'd be willing to sort of help as much as I can with that for sure. But yeah, it sounds like a plan.
Well, through Mr. Ugudadi here, we will be able to be asked to do continually, even when we are lost. No problem. Yes. Thank you,
For
sir.
now.
Thank you. We want to let you know that we are very happy that you are here with us.
Thank you.
And we are more convinced that with people like you, they are very rare to get people rare, to get somebody who is going to volunteer to do things with you.
Yeah.
It's not an easy thing, but we rely on the fact that we have
Yeah. But no, I've been here 6 times and I've been all over Nigeria and I've seen poverty. I've seen, when my first trip, I was just shocked. There was a young mom who had a baby strapped to her back and she was pregnant and she threw herself in front of our car to get money for begging. Like, children that come and beg for food it breaks your heart. Like, nobody should have to live like that. Yeah.
System is bad.
So bad.
The system is not working with us at all. The system is not even giving you room to help people.
No.
Even when you want to help, the system is not
And
giving you room to
there's
help.
social services in Canada. I mean, if you don't work, you can't work, you injured yourself. Okay, that's different things. If you injured yourself at work, they'll give you workers' compensation. So they'll give you a check based on your income every month until you're better and well enough to go back to work. Based on your income, it could be a couple $1,000s a month, depending on what you make, right? Like if you're working part-time, it's not going to be as much because it's based on what you make every month, right? But same with employment insurance. If you lose your job because the business closes or they're overstaffed, they'll give you a check every month. When I was on EI during COVID, it was $2,000 a month. If you suffer from mental illness or a physical disability that you can't provide for yourself, they'll put you on. Well, yeah, period. Even if you have a child that is born with Down syndrome, or you have a child that is born blind, right? Or something causes them to become blind. You apply for a disability pension, and that child will have that for the rest of its life. It's not necessarily that much there, but it's enough to feed them. Right? If you're down on your luck and your whole family has none of that, we have social services welfare that will give you a modest amount to feed yourself every month and your family.
It's just on the side of the world I find myself. It's not.